All right, with that being said, I'd like to call this meeting to order. If we could all rise for Pledge Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All city council members are present, minus Councilman Gordon. He did notify us that he would not be here. Are there any agenda modifications, Ms. Wood?
Mayor, no, there are not.
Do I have a motion to adopt the agenda?
Motion to adopt.
Second.
I have a motion to adopt the agenda by Councilman Collison and a second by Councilman Burgley. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries 4-0. Approval of the city council minutes for January 7th, which was a regular meeting of city council, and December 3rd, the Economic Development Authority.
Motion to approve.
Motion to approve by Councilman Burgley. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Councilman Collison. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion carries 4-0. Announcements. Goal setting will be Monday, January 27th at 6 p.m. Park Recreation and Culture Board meeting will be Tuesday, January 28th at 6 p.m. A City Council meeting will be Tuesday, February 4th at 7 p.m. And an EDA meeting will immediately follow that, hopefully around 7:30, we hope. Any council committee reports? None at this time. Let's move on to the business item.
I will bring up something.
Oh, go ahead, Councilman Lundin.
Mayor Johnson and I both missed our fire district meeting, which we thought was tomorrow, was actually last Wednesday. They tabled our joint powers agreement again. And it was due to not having knowledge of what's going on.
What? I thought that meeting was tomorrow.
Yeah, yeah.
Let's hope we can get that resolved in February. Any other council committee reports?
Councilmember Lundin, did you want to also bring up the streets you had mentioned earlier?
Oh, yeah. I've seen a lot of posts on Facebook, and it's driving me absolutely bananas. People are complaining about the city streets in Isani and sidewalks. I work anywhere from here to almost Albert Lee, and I drive all over. City Minneapolis streets and sidewalks have 6 inches of ice on them. It's like driving on a lumber road. Our streets in Isani are very good compared to these other cities. Blaine streets aren't much better. I've been told Princeton, which I haven't been over to Princeton, are horrid. Elk River, they're okay, but they're not as good as Isani's. And I want people to understand something. If you're driving to a certain spot, I drive all over, so I go to Cottage Grove, Lake Elmo, Woodbury, Stillwater, Zimmerman, Greenfield, Rogers, Minneapolis, St. Paul. Those streets are horrid. And I just think that people should be a little more equipped to look at other streets other than the ones that they think they see here. There is a salt shortage. Some of this stuff is a big issue. I think Public Works is getting out. I think I watched them the other night. I think it was Saturday night. I think they went by my house 3 times. I don't know what I was still doing up when they went by, but I noticed they went by my house 3 times. So I just want it to be known that I think the city of Isani is doing a fabulous job in their streets compared to other cities. And if people want, I'll start taking pictures of them and I'll get them posted someplace. The streets in Isani are very good compared to other cities. And I just want some people to know that. So.
I don't even want to start because
You drive just as far.
I drive for a living as well, and if I had to go through and rate from 1 being the worst and 10 being the best, I would say we hit at number 9 and the rest of them hit at number 2. So, if not a 1. I think Public Works, I think, does a fantastic job. And personally, I wouldn't want to live in any other city because I know my children, my wife, myself, and I know our residents are safe on these streets. And my hat's off to Public Works. So you keep plugging away, and I guess the best way that I could put it is we're rubber and they're glue. And I'll keep it at that. Otherwise, I'm going to probably blow my stack because I think Public Works does a phenomenal job, and I'm tired of everybody ranting and raving about how poor these streets are because I'd beg to differ. Last year, about a year and a half ago, they were worse than they are today. And they're getting better and better as we go. So we're learning something, and we're doing great, so keep it up. And I'm looking directly at our Public Works Director as I say this.
Thank you.
Moving on to business items, J1, resolution to extend partnership agreement with ECRL and Isani Friendships of the Library.
Motion to approve.
Wow, that was pretty quick.
Yeah.
Right out of the holster. We do have somebody here,
Oh, sorry.
Miss Rachel Hoel. Hopefully I pronounced that right. If you wouldn't mind stepping forward. Did I pronounce that right, Rachel? Howl. Kind of like on Happy Days, the Howls. Wasn't that the Howls?
No.
There it is, the Howls. There, I knew you'd
Happy
know.
Days was Mr. Seaton.
Oh yeah, you're right,
Cunningham.
Mr. Cunningham. I knew the Howls were somewhere.
I married into the name, so.
Well, I like it.
Well, good evening. Thank you, Mayor Johnson and members of council for having me this evening. I'm Rachel Howell. I'm the Assistant Director for East Central Regional Library. And on behalf of ECRL, I wanted to take a moment to say thank you for all of your support for the past 10 years of library service here in Isanti through our outreach stop here in this very building. Our outreach site here provides a link to library services for the residents of Isanti, especially those who can't get to any of our other locations. We are here 1 day a week. Tim Olson provides service here on Wednesday afternoons, but visits the rest of our region the rest of the week, visiting 2 other weekly outreach stops and 5 other stops that he goes to bi-weekly. This outreach stop is all about intergovernmental partnerships. Counties and the state help fund our operations. Cities provide our wonderful space. The citizens are great volunteers, and our friends also provide additional financial support. The partnership agreement that we sign with you every year specifies an annual evaluation to determine the continued value of service to the community. And our most recent evaluation for 2019 shows slightly lower but still very consistent usage for the entire year. Through December of 2019, we were open 49.5 days here in Isanti for a total of 198 hours of service. And that was 2.5 more days than we were open here in 2018. Visits were down a little bit, but nonetheless averaged just over 28 visits per day. And we stayed consistent throughout the year. So in some of our locations, it goes up or down depending on the time of year, but Isanti folks come out every week, regardless of the time of year. We checked out a little over 2,500 materials in 2019, averaging about 211 items per month that check out from this location.
That's awesome.
It is. It's great. While the primary business of our stop here is to bring those materials to our users, we also provide information. Tim has answered almost 350 reference or information-seeking type questions over the course of a year. He's averaging just a little over 7 per day. And again, those are things related, tell me more about services that you offer to help me find the right place to vote or to go take my animal to the vet. So he answers a wide gamut of information. We host a lot of children's visits as well. Preschools and daycares in particular visit every week whenever the weather allows them to walk over. And 7th and 8th graders will come, not every year, but I think about every other year, to get new library cards as their school year starts in August. And furthermore, we provide some programming here in Isanti. Every year we have an annual program that opens our summer learning program for students. And in 2019, that was Loon Song, which was a storytelling of Ojibwe culture through puppets. Puppeteers from In the Heart of the Beast Theater told the story of Grandfather Turtle and his granddaughter Loon. And it was very, very well received with more than 20 people who came just to this location to see the program. As always, we very much appreciate your continued support for library service here in Isanti and look forward to the renewal of the partnership agreement. So thank you very much.
Thank you. I do got to say that when I became mayor in the city of Isanti, I did go to Tim. And I was looking for books on the history of Isanti. Tim didn't have them, but Tim found them.
He got him for you.
And before I knew it, he had a half a dozen books in my lap, which I did read every single one of them to catch up on the history of Isanti. And I did get a library card as well when I became mayor. I hope my daughter goes and gets a library card. I do see all the kids come in every Wednesday, even though they're very loud, but they enjoy their library. So we appreciate you as well and all the hard work that you and Tim do.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yeah, I hear a lot of good comments from the community, so.
I'll second Mr. Burgley's motion.
I have a motion to approve by Councilman Burgley and a second by Councilman Lundin. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries 4-0. Resolution approving boiler replacement at Public Workshop. Mr. Sylvester, I know you had this item, but before you even start talking, sir, I say that we table this item because you were given more information this evening, and I think you have a little more homework to do. I'm pretty confident that you'll find even a cheaper avenue for the city of Isanti, sir.
Mayor Johnson, I will try.
Motion
you.
to table.
Actually, could I just
I'm sorry?
give them just something to think about? If, for as far as the boiler unit goes, hopefully you're looking into the future.
He's
Or
looking for the
size.
next 20 years is what we're looking for.
25 years. We're looking for 2045 after this year.
Okay.
So after they get replaced this year, 2045 is the next step.
I mean, if, like, say the building were to be added on ever down the road, let's say, as far as,
But it's in floor heat, so the only way you can do it, you can't oversize the boiler.
no,
You,
there's no
so-
BTU ratings.
Well,
Yeah.
there is the BTU rating, but if you oversize the
square
boiler,
footage.
it actually becomes less efficient when you oversize it. So he has to size it to what he has, and then when they add on, they'd have
That
to
makes
add on.
sense.
Yep.
So therefore, I motion to table this, and Councilman Burgley seconded. All in favor, say aye.
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 All opposed, same sign. Motion carries to table that 4-0. Approving the consent agenda.
Motion to approve.
Motion to approve by Councilman Burgley. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Councilman Collison. All in favor, say aye.
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 All opposed, same sign. Motion carries 4-0 to approve the consent agenda. Do I have a,
Do we have other communications? Does that matter?
Ms. Wood, does our other communications matter?
Mayor and council, typically they're just on there if council has a comment that they want to share about it, but we don't typically ever talk about those at council. They're just there to be included in the packet.
We did,
Motion-
we did, I'm actually going to add, sorry, Councilman Burgley. Code enforcement officer did go over to the police department now as of January of this year. I'm sure it's going to be a slow process to get that moving. I firmly believe that Mr. Lindholm and Ms. Selman will help that transition, and we'll get her rolling before we know it. Other than that, Everything is good and peachy as always in the city of Isani.
Motion to adjourn.
I have a motion to adjourn by Councilman Burgley. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Councilman Collison. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries 4-0. Therefore, we stand adjourned.